Wang Xuan traveled through parallel worlds and became the host of an interview program, but he had no hosting experience. Activating the system at a critical moment allows others to break through defenses and earn various rewards and points. After seeing Wang Xuan's questions breaking through countless guests, the audience also settled in Bengbu. Okay. Are you doing this to my idol? Wait for me for a while, I'll go to the kitchen and get you some money. Do you want a beautiful knife or a people's knife? No, I came to watch an interview program. How could a good interview break the defense of the guests? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Isn't 001 tailor-made for me? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Wang, we are very optimistic about you on stage, that's why we specially hosted it for you. Next, you must remember to seize this opportunity. You must not waste it. As long as you can host the program well this time, it will be of great help to your career in the future. You believe that I really did this program, but there are a lot of big-name celebrities coming to participate. At this moment, there is a middle-aged man above his head. He was patting Wang Xuan's shoulder, his tone like an elder, earnestly instructing him. After waiting for the instructions to be completed, he looked down at his watch and said, "There are only the last 10 minutes left. Don't be too nervous, remember what I told you, you must perform well this time." After speaking, he hurriedly left. But Wang Xuan's face was dull at the moment. At this moment, Wang Xuan, who had regained his senses, looked around with a bewildered expression. Didn't I just start coding? Wang Xuan is just an ordinary online author, and today he was originally in normal coding. As a result, he died suddenly due to staying up too late, and when he opened his eyes again, he found himself appearing in this place. Suddenly, a strange memory invaded his brain like waves. I've actually traveled through time. Surprisingly, he even became the host of a program on Beijing Central Television. Wang Xuan quickly understood his current situation through the memory of the original owner. I didn't expect that Wang Xuan would suddenly die and travel directly to a parallel world. The original host happened to be someone with the same name and surname as him, and the key is still the youngest host of Jingyang. At the beginning, the original host hosted a legal program. Because the original host had a good performance and response in the last recorded program, he was sent to host another program. To be honest, it's actually an interview program. This program will invite a celebrity every time, and then the host of the program will ask questions. Of course, no matter what the question is, the other party must answer truthfully. This kind of program is very cliché. But there is a lack of entertainment in this place, and many variety shows and literary works that Wang Xuan knew before do not exist in this world. So it's not surprising that such cliché programs appear. But these are not important. And the most important question right now is, how will Wang Xuan host the program? He is only a junior student now, and he has only interned at some local TV stations for a few months before. It is impossible for him to host the program launched by Central Mom at once. Because he doesn't have that experience. But now if he doesn't grit his teeth, he probably won't be able to do anything about it. After all, this is what the authorities are demanding of him now. If he were to flee now, he might lose his job, which would be a small matter. Wang Xuan took a deep breath, and time passed by minute by second. Congratulations to the host for successfully activating the professional defensive system. Just as Wang Xuan fell into despair, a strange electronic mechanical sound suddenly broke the silence. Upon hearing this unfamiliar voice, Wang Xuan was almost moved to tears. As an online writer, I am sure I have a deep understanding of systems. Because that is definitely a must-have artifact for the cool male lead. A reliable cheat. As long as you have the golden finger, all troubles will be easily solved. Is it really my system? Wang Xuan was somewhat incredulous, even thinking it was his own hallucination. That's right, this system is intended to cultivate the host as a defense-breaking expert. As long as the host can cause emotional fluctuations in the opponent and successfully break the defense, they can earn corresponding points. The higher the level of defense breaking, the more points they will earn. The points can be used for lucky draws. Wang Xuan understood. In fact, in simple terms, the system is to make others break the defense. In short, as long as you can break the opponent's defense, you can earn points. Isn't this a bed slot tailored for me? Wang Xuan was very excited at the moment because he was very skilled at making people break through defenses. After all, in his past life, Wang Xuan was just a poor-mouthed person, and the people around him were often broken by him. Almost every time, he would say to him, "If it weren't for my good looks, I would have killed you long ago." Being able to make people say such things shows how hateful Wang Xuan's mouth is. Considering that the host is activating this system for the first time, this system hereby awards a reward. An increase in hosting experience of 100, senior host. Seeing the reward given by the system just now, Wang Xuan immediately felt that he had a lot of hosting skills and experience in his mind. Don't say this system is really awesome. Come whatever you really want. And 100 points of hosting experience can be said to directly fill the talent points. Now, Wang Xuan is on par with the most experienced hosts in Yangma. No matter what kind of occasion it is, he is able to control it effortlessly, and his hosting ability can be said to be almost perfect. Wang Xuan looked up and saw that the pointer on the wall had been moving for 5 minutes, which means there are only the last 5 minutes left. Moreover, according to the information obtained by Wang Xuan, this program is a real-time live broadcast that connects major short videos and Beijing Central Television. For a host, such a live broadcast undoubtedly faces tremendous pressure. Any mistake made by oneself could lead to a catastrophic situation. Even some of their veteran hosts may not dare to continue this program. Finally, I had no choice but to choose Wang Xuan. However, the current Wang Xuan is completely different from the previous one. I remember the first guest to appear today, it seems to be named Lu Qing, right? Wang Xuan recalled the memories of the original owner. Lu Qingda is a big star in this world, with her presence in various popular variety shows and movies and TV dramas. And he has also performed many popular songs. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 002, I don't know which big shot can tell me this. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Moreover, she also operates a media company and has many top-tier artists under her umbrella. On the screen, she is a big female lead, and in life, she is also a big female lead. Wang Xuan took out a cigarette and slowly started smoking. Then he took out his phone and opened the official website of Jingyang to check the live broadcast. Although there are still a few minutes left, the live broadcast has already begun. And the barrage on the public screen is flying everywhere. Sleeping slot. Surprisingly, it started broadcasting so early. It seems that our program team is even more urgent than us viewers. I'm here specifically to see my wife Qing at home. May I ask the program team, where exactly did you hide my wife Qing? Can I say, Dian Dian Mian upstairs is good? Qing's wife belongs to all of us. Excuse me, is it just me who came to see Wang Xuan and Wang Shen? I have watched a program he hosted before, which is a legal program and I think it's quite good. +1, I'm also here to see Wang Xuan. I think Wang Shen is the most amazing. Wang Xian's eyes quickly scanned a few barrage comments, and he accidentally discovered that someone was his fan who came specifically to look at him. This has ruined Wang Xuanla. Teacher Wang Xuan. Excuse me, there are only 2 minutes left until the start of the program, so can you come with me to the scene to prepare? A staff member ran over to notify Wang Xuan. After taking a deep breath, Wang Xuan extinguished his cigarette and nodded. After adjusting his own state, Wang Xuan stepped onto the channel to the live show. Then come to the recording site. Wang Xuan saw a leather sofa placed alone in the center, with a large 4K high-definition screen directly covering the entire wall behind it. On the big screen, only 4 big characters are displayed. Tell the truth. It is obvious that this is the background board of this program. And all around are various camera positions, with the aim of capturing the facial expressions of guests more quickly and accurately, as well as their real-time real reactions. And Wang Xuan stood at the entrance on the side, waiting for time to slowly pass. After all, there is still 1 minute left until the official start of the program recording. Alright, all units, pay attention. The program is about to officially start from now on. At this moment, the chief director Zhang Yun is giving instructions on the walkie-talkie. At the same time, a voice came from Wang Xuan's earphones. Get ready to start. Each host, including guests, has headphones specially configured by the program team, which can help them understand the background situation. Wang Xuan took a deep breath and adjusted himself. If you want to say something nervous, Wang Xuan doesn't feel at all. Because the 100 points of hosting experience rewarded by the system is not just for fun. Let's talk about the present and look forward to the future. Here we have not only the current popular celebrities, but also elites from various industries, and of course, experts from various fields. After arriving here, you can freely ask and listen to what you want to hear. In short, being here is being honest. Good evening, everyone in front of the screen. Welcome to the live broadcast of the interview program Honesty and Honesty. I am the program host Wang Xuan. Then, from a nearby corner, a tall and upright figure slowly walked towards the spotlight. He has clear eyebrows and beautiful eyes, a tall and majestic figure with a graceful and polite demeanor, displaying a very elegant and easy-going appearance. His speaking pace is gentle, and every word he utters in his mouth is precise and round. Coupled with his melodious voice, it can give people a feeling of being bathed in spring breeze. Wow, this host is so handsome and stylish. Is this handsome guy the host of the program? His voice is also amazing. No, I want to fan him. I was originally here specifically to see our wife Qing, but I didn't expect to find a treasure host. It's really very enlightening. I'm talking to everyone upstairs. Are you guys just watching Wang Xuan's program today? He has always been so handsome, okay? That's right. Wang Xuan's typhoon has always been stable and serious. With the appearance of Wang Xuan in the live broadcast room, a scene of boiling erupted. Then barrage after barrage flashed by quickly. Many fans of Lu Qing originally came to support her and wanted to call her, but no one expected the host of this program to be so handsome. Suddenly, Wang Xuan became the subject of discussion in the live broadcast room. Many people think that Wang Xuan's hosting skills are top-notch, even stronger than some veteran hosts. However, as the focal point of the live broadcast room, Wang Xuan was completely unaware and continued to read the opening statement with his hand card. Even if Wang Xuan knew, he wouldn't have any other feelings. After all, most of the people in my live broadcast room are fans of Lu Qing. After Lu Qing appears, his discussion level will naturally decrease. Alright. Now let's introduce the first guest to appear on our program. She is a rising superstar. Although she is young now, she has won countless awards. Her presence is present in the entertainment and singing industry, including some variety shows. And she is our queen actress Lu Qing. Please give her a round of applause. My goddess is about to appear. I can't do it anymore. I need to start licking the screen. Everyone, look. Goddess Qing is about to appear. She's really excited. I don't know which big shot can tell me how awesome Lu Qing is. She is the youngest movie queen and diva in our country, and she has also attended major international events. She is definitely a down-to-earth popular idol. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 003 didn't know that you usually cook for yourself at home. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. As barrage after barrage flashed through the public screen, the popularity of the program had begun to rise continuously, reaching a rating of 1.5% in just a few minutes. And this also brought a considerable surprise to Jingyang, who was trying this real-time live streaming for the first time. It seems that this recording method needs to be further promoted in the future, as it is very popular among audiences. Not long. At this moment, the big screen slowly opened from the middle, and with the appearance of a beautiful shadow, the props group of the program began to spray a faint mist from the floor, creating a feeling of ethereal air. Then Lu Qing slowly appeared in front of the camera. Her beautiful black hair was draped over her fragrant shoulders, her skin was fair and translucent, her eyes were like peach blossoms, and her nose was sharp and delicate. Her red lips were as bright and dazzling as two roses. Lu Qing was paired with a light yellow long skirt, which was very pure and beautiful, giving people a feeling of first love. Very beautiful. Wang Xuan was deeply shocked, and it was not surprising that Lu Qing's appearance could be so popular. Hello everyone, I am Lu Qing, the guest of this episode. A sweet smile appeared at the corner of Lu Qing's mouth, as if she were as beautiful as a fairy descending to earth. After greeting the audience in the live broadcast room towards the camera, Lu Qing walked towards Wang Xuan and then walked confidently to a nearby position. Qing's wife, I love you so much. Wow, my wife Qing laughs so sweetly. Do you know why she smiles so sweetly? Because I am diabetes. Don't drive if it's not upstairs, after all, I'm still a 360-month-old baby. At this time, the popularity in the live broadcast room continued to rise again with the appearance of Lu Qing. In the blink of an eye, their live broadcast room has already reached a 3% rating. This data is very terrifying, and no one expected that Lu Qing's appearance could double the popularity of the program, indicating how much influence she herself has. Hello Miss Lu Qing, welcome to our program. Wang Xuan smiled faintly and then stood up to welcome you. Hello, Teacher Wang, Lu Qing responded with a smile. After speaking, the two of them sat down together. Wang Xuan glanced at the prompt card and then said, as for the rules, I won't introduce them. I believe Miss Lu must have done her homework. So let's make a long story short and then move on to the first question. Originally, the host of the program had a script. Unfortunately, Wang Xuan didn't watch it. Because the original owner didn't even look at it, it was too late for Wang Xuan to come and see it. If you think about the system, it requires you to let the other party break the defense. So let's play freely on our own. Wang Xuan pondered for a moment before speaking, Miss Lu, if I remember correctly, you should be from the south, right? That's right. I come from the beautiful Jiangnan province, Lu Qing responded with a smile. She doesn't have a notebook on her end. Because as a guest, you only need to answer questions. Finally started. As expected, it's once again a topic of discussion on the rotten street of Longhua. No. When will our National Day program have any new ideas? I have watched 10 variety shows, and most of them have this kind of opening. Wang Xuan has a very serious hosting style, so let's quietly appreciate Lu Qing's beauty. At this time, the audience in the studio has begun to roast. This cannot be blamed on the audience being too picky now, mainly because it has been so many years, and the programs of Dragon Country are becoming increasingly monotonous, which really makes people lose interest. Especially for this type of interview program, the QA of the guests seems to be from a mother. And this also leads to the audience becoming aesthetically fatigued. And the program has become increasingly dull. Jiangnan province is indeed a beautiful place. Thank you for your compliment. At this moment, the two of them were chatting very much with each other. However, the audience in the live broadcast room has already begun to feel drowsy. And the popularity of the live broadcast room is also starting to decline step by step. Speaking of which, I would like to ask Miss Lu, do you usually cook more at home or order more takeout? Wang Xuan and Lu Qing chatted and then talked about her life. I usually cook and eat by myself at home, and as for takeout and other food, except for busy work, I basically don't touch it. After all, takeout is not healthy. Having been in the entertainment industry for so long, Lu Qing naturally wouldn't be affected by the successive questions, so she answered them with ease. Wang Xuan smiled and nodded. The program has become lukewarm at the beginning, and the number of viewers has been stuck at the 3% rating without any fluctuation. However, these ratings are also quite impressive, almost able to catch up with the summer program ratings. Wang Xuan cleared his throat and decided to ask another question before unleashing his big trick. So it seems that Miss Lu herself is very knowledgeable about cooking. Upon hearing this, Lu Qing was taken aback for a moment. Thinking that Wang Xuan might have to ask herself how to cook, Lu Qing pushed the boat and said, "That's right, I'm quite good at food." Wang Xuan grinned. "Hee, that's all I've been waiting for from you. The fish is biting the hook. That's really great. Actually, I have a lot of things I don't know about cooking. I wonder if I can ask you for some advice," Wang Xuan said, taking a step down and asking. "If you have any questions, you can ask them," Lu Qing replied with a smile. "Miss Lu, could you tell me if the coffee made from this coffee bean is soybean milk?" Wang Xuan looks humble and eager to learn. After hearing Wang Xuan's question, Lu Qing looked dumbfounded and said, "Ah." Lu Qing didn't expect Wang Xuan to be so surprised. Because of this issue she really didn't think about it before. Does the coffee made from coffee beans count as soybean milk? Ha, it's good. This question is quite innovative. It's not that we don't care whether we have new ideas. Who upstairs can tell whether this coffee is soybean milk or not? I originally planned to leave the live broadcast room. However, the host's question made me feel that it's still necessary to watch for a while. Don't be fooled by Mrs. Qing's silly expression, it's really teasing me. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. My head suddenly itches so much. I shouldn't be. You are listening at novelfull.audio. And now on the other side of the production team backstage. In front of a huge monitor, multiple leaders gathered, including the director, deputy director, and chief planner of CCTV. At this moment, they didn't expect that Wang Xuan would not follow the script. At first, I thought it was because Wang Xuan was too nervous and forgot his words, but gradually I realized that this Wang Xuan was very likely intentional, or he was just improvising. But this can easily cause stage accidents. So they must stop it. At this moment, the chief director spoke to Wang Xuan through the microphone and said, "Wang Xuan, please immediately follow the content on the platform and leave. Please do not play casually, please do not play casually." What notebook? What is that thing? I haven't even seen that thing, okay. Wang Xuan naturally cannot follow the requirements of the chief director. Detected Lu Qing breaking defense, points plus 10. How come there are only 10? Wang Xuan is somewhat dissatisfied. I never expected that it would be difficult for Lu Qing to completely break through the defense. But how could he possibly give up? It seems like this should be counted. Lu Qingja smiled, feeling like she was on pins and needles at the moment. She deeply regrets taking on this program now. Wang Xuan nodded and said, "Okay, now that our life problems have ended, we will have work problems next." Well. Then you can ask. Lu Qing felt a little scared. Immediately after, Wang Xuan said, "Miss Lu is very popular now. Everyone in China knows that you are a new top performer in the entertainment industry. So, may I ask if you are busy with filming? Lu Qing breathed a sigh of relief when she heard Wang Xuan change the topic. She was also afraid that Wang Xuan would make a big fuss over the issue just now and deliberately make things difficult for herself to attract viewers for their program. But it's obvious that Wang Xuan didn't. Actually, being at the top of the line doesn't count. I think I still need to work hard. As for whether I'm busy on a regular basis. To be honest, I'm actually quite busy and tired on a regular basis. And it's completely unavoidable to stay up late to shoot a scene. Recently, due to staying up late, my appetite has also become bad, Lu Qing said helplessly, touching her stomach. Unconsciously, Lu Qing mentioned it again because she was happy for a moment. But Wang Xuan suddenly caught the key words. I haven't had an appetite lately. Hee, this is easy to handle. Wang Xuan chuckled and said, so it's like this. That's really tiring. I wonder if Miss Lu would consider taking some stomach strengthening and digestive pills. Lu Qing didn't think much, she even thought it was a very simple and normal problem. So she nodded lightly and said, I often eat it. Wang Xuan suddenly grinned when he heard this. The fish is hooked for the second time. Lu Qing looked at Wang Xuan's smile and suddenly felt something was wrong. It seems that when he asked himself just now whether coffee was soybean milk, that was the expression on his face. This guy probably doesn't know, so what unexpected questions are you ready to ask yourself? For a moment, Lu Qing immediately became somewhat worried. Wang Xuan put away his smile and put on a curious expression, so, that's right. I have a question here that I would like to ask Miss Lu for advice. Lu Qing swallowed her saliva and said with some concern, then you can ask. Wang Xuan smiled faintly and then asked, excuse me, Miss Lu. If I start eating a lot of stomach strengthening and digestive pills when I'm very hungry, will I eat more and more? Or will I eat more and more hungry? Lu Qing. Although she had anticipated that Wang Xuan would have such a strange brain circuit problem again. But she couldn't refuse to answer. Because the current program aims to have invited guests answer every question asked by supporters. Otherwise, if the program rules are violated, it will be considered a breach of contract and one will need to pay a large amount of liquidated damages. Of course. The problems are actually within the reasonable range of acceptance of the guests. I won't touch the bottom line at all. However, Lu Qing never expected that although the bottom line was not touched, she was about to die speechless. What are these problems? Isn't there a more serious question? Sleeping slot. I'm almost laughing to death. It's not that the host is too funny. And there's also Lu Qing's expression. I never imagined that one day her face would show such an unattainable expression. I declare that this interview program can be adapted into the Spring Festival Gala, and even performed as a sketch. One more. It's just that I need to think carefully about his question. Upstairs, I think you should stop thinking. I just checked the host's question on my computer and now my computer CPU is smoking. Lying down. My head suddenly feels so itchy. Shouldn't I be going to grow a brain? This program is really interesting, and now I would like to call it the ceiling of such interview programs. The live broadcast room at this moment. It has become very lively. The two soul-piercing questions that Wang Xuan just asked Lu Qing have completely stirred up the emotions of the audience. At this point, everyone is becoming increasingly interested in this program. Some people even sealed it as a ceiling. Many fans who originally came to see Lu Qing were instantly fans of Wang Xuan. They have never seen a hosting style like Wang Xuan before. You should know that as a country of etiquette, their Dragon Kingdom values meticulousness in everything, including hosting programs, which leads to many hosts adopting a rigid and serious hosting style. Today, Wang Xuan's hosting style undoubtedly opened a new door. This is too much fun. Wang Xuan repeatedly played without following the usual routine, almost reaching their waist, making all the viewers feel that there seems to be a hint of seriousness in the comedy of this program. In addition, some experienced drivers in the live broadcast room occasionally race on the public screen, making the program more interesting. Suddenly, all the audience saw it, so how could this kind of interview program be so interesting? What a waste of learning. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 005 is a good young person, we need to cultivate more. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the audience was happy, it made Lu Qing suffer. Because every time Wang Xuan asks a question, her brain circuits are very novel, making it difficult for her to answer for a while. Can only smile awkwardly. If an artist can't keep up with the meme, it will greatly discount their audience appeal. This should be getting increasingly hungry, right? Lu Qing frowned, her helpless tone paired with a pair of loveless eyes. She really wants to escape. Ha ha ha, I can't even mess with Qing. The main reason is that this question from Wang Xuan is too difficult for Lu Qing to answer. Just like me, there are so many funny points in the program, I don't know which one to laugh at first. This Wang Xuan is too bad, isn't he? He's ruining our family like this. I want to report this program team. He. The second arm upstairs, right. It's obvious that your family's Lu Qing is too bored to catch our Wang Xuan's meme, okay? Yeah. Also, could you please take a clear look at which TV tower this is? This is Yang Mama, big sister. Our largest TV station in Longhua is here. Who are you reporting to? Young Mama. Did I seal myself? I'm laughing to death, ha ha ha. You should know that in the TV stations of Longhua, Jingyang is the big brother and it governs all the TV stations. If you want to report, there's probably no place to deal with the central mother. Wang Xuan couldn't help but feel amused as he looked at Lu Qing, who was silly and cute. Ding! The host successfully broke Lu Qing's defense, points plus 50. Ding! The host successfully broke the defense of Lu Qing's fans, with points plus 50. Finally rising. Wang Xuan didn't expect that just one more question would increase Lu Qing's points a lot. And not only did she earn points from Lu Qing, but also from her fans. This can be said to be an unexpected gain. Wang Xuan also found that the amount of points obtained at a time should be determined by who he wants to break through the defense. Because it is obvious that the points obtained from Lu Qing's fans are far inferior to those obtained from Lu Qing alone. Ding! Congratulations on successfully increasing the points earned in a single attempt. The system rewards the host 100,000 yuan. It has been deposited into the host account. Next up. The sound of the system came from Wang Xuan's mind. Wang Xuan was stunned for a moment. I didn't expect this system to be so generous. One move is worth 100,000 yuan. Too arrogant. Cough. Wang Xuan coughed a few times and corrected his complexion. He looked at Lu Qing. At this point, Lu Qing had gradually become afraid of being asked by Wang Xuan, and if possible, he would ask questions that people couldn't answer for a while. So Lu Qing listened very seriously this time and swore that she would never fall into the pit dug by Wang Xuan again. It seems that Miss Lu has her own unique perspective on our problem, It's quite good. Wang Xuan smiled, showing a very pleased expression. This made Lu Qing unable to laugh or cry, and at the same time, her inner worries became even stronger. He probably won't ask me anything again, will he? And at the same time. In the background. At this moment, the chief director is already extremely anxious. Because Wang Xuan is now starting to play freely, it makes him feel very headache, and it can even be said that he has two big heads now. The key is that there is also a station director and many leaders on stage next to him, and if there is a stage accident, it will be very difficult to end. And Wang Xuan's current host has gradually let himself go, he really doesn't know what to do. Xiao Zhang, where did you find this host? At this moment, a middle-aged man sitting next to him, about 40 or 50 years old, with graying temples, stared at Wang Xuan on the monitor and asked the chief director Zhang Yun. Director Zhang Yun was a bit flustered for a while. Shouldn't he be implicated by Wang Xuan? But there was no other choice but to answer the director, this is a new host from our station, This young man is hosting well. Ah. Upon hearing the director's words, Zhang Yun was clearly stunned for a moment. He was already prepared to be criticized, but he didn't expect to receive praise from the other party. Oh, by the way, Xiao Zhang, who is your Taiwan-based planner? This interview is so innovative. If our interview programs in Longwa follow this rhythm in the future, why worry about no one watching it? The director asked Zhang Yun excitedly. This is the young man's improvisation, Zhang Yun said weakly. Upon hearing this, the director smiled faintly and said, this young man is not bad, we need to cultivate him more. Later, he stood up and prepared to leave. Keep busy, I have something to do first. Zhang Yun listened to the words spoken by the station director before leaving, feeling lost in his heart. He could see that this station seemed very interested in this young host. What is the current ratings? Zhang Yun regained his senses and asked the staff beside him. The staff on the side quickly retrieved the data and said, Director Zhang, the current ratings have reached 9.85%, which has increased several times. What? Zhang Yunxian did not expect that Wang Xuan alone could generate such a high level of popularity. And at the recording site, Wang Xuan looked at Lu Qing with a smile and asked, Miss Lu, all right. The previous questions were actually just to liven up the atmosphere. Now we will officially enter the interview. Ah. Oh, okay. Lu Qing breathed a sigh of relief, no wonder she said that this program was so unique, it turned out to be just arranged by the program team. Since Xian is like this, she can rest assured. Wang Xuan saw that Lu Qing had relaxed her guard and asked, Miss Lu, is it tiring to be your artist? Lu Qing nodded, and the question was quite normal. Yes, it is indeed very tiring. Well, indeed. This time she has learned to be smart. She will answer whatever Wang Xuan asks and will never say a word more. Wang Xuan casually asked, which aspect of work do you think handling would make you very tired? Just as Lu Qing was about to speak, the sweat on her back came down first. It's close, almost got tricked by this guy again. What can she say? She wants to say that the most tiring thing is acting. Dare to say in the territory of the central mother that she feels tired from working as a laborer, even if it's not because she likes to take a long vacation on the same day, so that she will never be tired. Shooting advertisements. Is this inappropriate to offend the gold owner? Handling interpersonal relationships. Can friends in the circle still meet? Interviews and interviews, there's no one who specifically talks people into the gutter. Ding. The host successfully broke Lu Qing's defense, with points +5+5+5. This is something Wang Xuan didn't expect. Good guy, he just put a bait and let Lu Qing break through the defense like this. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 006 young people, their minds are spinning fast, they are afraid. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The barrage has reached a new height. 666 Wang Xuan, I knew that the previous intellectual disability problems were all intentionally released smoke bombs. This problem is the big one, and it can't be solved by our young lady directly. What's going on? I've only been distracted for 2 minutes, and has the host suddenly become so sharp from asking jokes about intellectual disabilities? Looking forward to the goddess's high emotional intelligence answering. Lu Qing quickly organized her words with a decent smile on her face and said calmly, "In our profession, we work from morning till night, day and night are reversed. It's normal for a play to be filmed 70.80 times in order to find better results. Which profession would it be tiring to be at the forefront? Although tired, being able to pursue a career that I enjoy is a very happy thing for me. As a person, I have never been afraid of fatigue, only leisure." Cleverly drilling out a trap and establishing herself as a hardworking and dedicated person, Lu Qing breathed a little sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, Wang Xuan's next question almost made her slide off the seat. "So, if you put in a lot of effort for other things on the set, you probably won't be so happy, right?" Lu Qing forced a smile and said, "As long as you use your brain a little, there is nothing that cannot be solved." Wang Xuan gave a faint smile. "If there are 5 cups of water on set, how does Miss Lu plan to divide them into 100 group performances?" Lu Qing almost turned green. "I've seen a ghost. How to divide 5 cups of water? Do I have to take a sip of water when I get tired from slapping each person? What about the agreed serious style host? Why do you ask such a question about being beaten and not being pulled?" Her hanging heart finally hung. "After staying up all night, I finally managed to get through this damn interview." Wang Xuan didn't notice the look in Lu Qing's eyes as if he were an enemy who killed his father. He had already been knocked unconscious by the reward issued by the system. After his unremitting efforts, he received a cash reward of 600,000 yuan that night, as well as a literary work from his world. To live, yes, it is the literary work that has been highly recommended by countless Chinese language teachers, and the tragic experiences of the protagonist in the book have caused countless students and netizens to break down their defenses. The title of the book is To Live, but the author Xian wants to kill all the literary and artistic youths who are reading in this world where literature and art are scarce. Xian does not have such valuable works. In his world, any online article can destroy many works here. There is no TV drama that he can watch, and the songs stored on his phone are even more disgusting and mocking. I thought I would have to endure a barren spiritual life in the days after traveling, but I didn't expect the system to be quite user-friendly. Not only did it enrich my life, but it also enriched my spiritual world." Just as he appeared in the broadcasting hall, he was grabbed by a big hand on his shoulder. Big hands gave him 2 heavy slaps on the shoulder. "Okay, good kid. I really didn't misread you." Zhang Yun couldn't conceal his excitement and struck a hammer on Wang Xuan's chest. Accompanied by several anchors, cameraman, and sound engineer, they all came over, their eyes mixed with excitement, as if seeing a wolf dog with flesh and bones. Wang Xuan was licked by them. "The program's effect is pretty good, isn't it?" "Not bad." Zhang Yun opened his mouth wide. "You don't know yet, do you? Your kid is famous. Do you know the ratings of our program?" "How much?" 20.23%. You broke our TV ratings record in one night. More than 20%. Wang Xuan was shocked. He was also a professional in broadcasting and hosting. Of course, he knew what it meant to have a rating of over 20%. Even the Spring Festival Gala is only 30%. This is his first time hosting an interview program. Zhang Yunxi said happily, "You kid, just do it. In 2 days, someone will have to interview you." His smile suddenly became somewhat ambiguous. Young people, their minds are spinning fast, so they're afraid that feng shui will take turns, he said. Wang Xuan understood. Isn't that because he was afraid of being hit by a boomerang when he tried to solve someone else's problem? Don't worry, let's not say it's not that important yet. Even if someone really comes to interview me, I will have troops for the enemy, earth for floods. That evening, a celebration banquet was held in Taiwan. One is to celebrate the start of this program, and the other is to have an additional rising star on the celebration platform. After the celebration, it's already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Wang Xuan drank a little alcohol, but it wasn't much. His heart began to beat wildly, as if something really big was about to happen. Return to his current home according to memory. It's more like a temporary residence than a home. He has only been working for a few years, and the host of Jingyang seems to have unlimited fame. In fact, at his level, his salary is only a few thousand yuan. If there is anything similar between this world and his original world, it is probably the housing prices in Beijing. According to his current salary level, he can buy 1 square meter a year without eating or drinking. However, judging from what the leader said today, he has become an overnight sensation tonight, and his salary is sure to double several times. It can reach the level of buying 1 square meter every 6 months. My mind was full of thoughts, and before I knew it, I had arrived at my doorstep. As soon as the key was inserted into the lock, the door opened on its own. The person opening the door is a beautiful woman, a top-tier beauty. According to the original owner's memory, this beautiful woman is currently the top popular actress in the country, Joanne, who has been his girlfriend since college. Back then, the two of them squeezed together in a basement of over 10 square meters. He is interning on stage with a monthly salary of 25,000, while Joanne is running errands in major production groups. When the market is poor, he can't earn a penny. At that time, when I was poor, instant noodles were all luxury goods. I cooked noodles in plain water every time, and occasionally dug 2 green vegetables in the green belt to put in. Tang Monk had to cut 2 pieces of pork into the food. But now we have finally survived. Suddenly seeing Qiao Anan, Wang Xuan felt a bit awkward, but more importantly, it was a genuine closeness from the bottom of his heart. This or the king is an emotion left by the original owner. You're here, Wang Xuan nervously wiped his hands. Suddenly Xian remembered that Joanne seemed to dislike the original owner's drinking, and an inexplicable sense of guilt enveloped Wang Xuan. He quickly explained, "So what, did you watch the program I hosted today? You achieved great success, and then on stage. Wang Xuan, let's break up." Wang Xuan did not feel any sense of relief. He only felt a buzzing sound in his brain, his heart pounded heavily like a sledgehammer, and his whole body spun around. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 007, I can't apologize to myself, so I can only. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What are you talking about? He heard his dry throat barely squeeze out a voice. Jonan closed her eyes and pursed her lips, saying, Wang Xuan, have we been together for 7 years? 7 years and 9 months, Wang Xuan let out a bitter smile. Do you know how many room cards I have received and how many dinners I have refused in these 7 years? I have never done anything wrong to you. Joanne blinked, as if trying to force tears back from her eyes. She continued, you have also worked hard and been very ambitious these years. I have seen all of this in my eyes, but Wang Xuan, I am already 29 years old and my flowering period is not many years. There's a great opportunity right now, I can't apologize to myself, so I can only apologize to you. Wang Xuan blinked his eyes, took a deep breath, and reluctantly said, okay, then. I wish you a bright future. He pressed hard on his chest. Even if it's worn, you can still feel a severe heartache. If it's not worn, maybe the original owner will have to be taken away by an ambulance at this moment. Wang Xuan breathed deeply, trying to shake off the emotional influence of the original owner, but to no avail. He looked steadily at Joanne. How many men dream of her extremely beautiful face? It used to be what he had, but now it's leaving him. You don't have to say anything, you go. It's getting dark, why don't I give you a ride? No need, I came by car. A cool red supercar is parked downstairs. Wang Xuan watched as she drove away from the dust, her heart tingling with pain still lingering. He had to take a deep breath to relieve the piercing pain. What the hell is that? Think about browsing your phone for a while, and soon a message will pop up. The headline on the entertainment section is: National Goddess Joanne and actor Ji Qingxi successfully held hands. Turns out the CP I was on was real. Wang Xuan is also cheap. Just click on it and take a look, holding hands with a couple's ring. Damn it. He threw his phone to the side. Ding. The host successfully broke Wang Xuan's defense, with points plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. With the continuous increase of points, in the blink of an eye, the system rewarded him with 1.5 million yuan, plus an old song. Blessing, damn it. Are you still playing like this? Even calculate your own points. Quickly, Wang Xuan realized that the Wang Xuan mentioned in this defense-breaking system should be the original owner. That's right, it's not like his girlfriend turned him green. How strong is he breaking through the defense? He doesn't even have a girlfriend. He is so big that he has a good skin bag, and because of his broken mouth, he hasn't even touched a girl's hand. Ding. The host successfully broke the defense and gained points plus 50. For a moment, Wang Xuan didn't know whether to cry or laugh. He picked up his phone and checked the balance on his bank card. His savings over the years, combined with tonight's reward, totaled over 3 million yuan in his card. I can't tell, the original owner was quite able to save money. 3 million yuan is not a bad deal, but if you want to buy a house in Beijing, it's just enough for a down payment. But with this professional defense system, are you still afraid of not having money in the future? With full hope in his heart, Wang Xuan began browsing the sales information of surrounding housing prices. The location is good, and the house should not be too small. It's best to start at 100 square meters and be closer to the studio in the station, so as to save time. You'll have to take a taxi after night shift. He quickly slapped himself. He's not promising, won't he buy a car on his own? Just buy a supercar, the red one. After browsing for less than 10 minutes, a phone call came in. The caller ID is displayed as Mom. Wang Xuan connected and heard a familiar voice coming from his phone. He felt his heart tremble. Isn't this exactly my mother's voice? That unease suddenly disappeared without a trace. Mom, have you watched TV? I'm hosting a new program tonight. Xiao Xian, your dad has an accident. The voice over there was full of anxiety. It was supposed to be fine, but suddenly I fainted. I quickly called an ambulance to come over. The doctor said it was a heart attack and it's still in the emergency room. Wang Xuan was completely frozen, as if he had stepped out of nowhere and fell into the glacier from the cliff. Mom, don't worry yet. Which hospital is Dad at? I'll hurry over right now. Although Wang Xuan's hometown is not in the capital, it is not far away. His family's conditions are not very good, and his parents have been busy working in the fields for a lifetime. After his career improved, he bought a house for his second son in the provincial capital of his hometown. Fortunately, it was close to the hospital, otherwise an emergency like myocardial infarction would not have been able to sustain the hospital. Wang Xuan hurried downstairs, stopped a car casually, and ran towards the hospital that his mother had mentioned. He couldn't even distinguish whether this anxious emotion came from the original owner or from himself. Because he had a feeling that he and the original owner were already one person. It was already over 3 a.m. when I arrived at the hospital. At the entrance of the operating room, Wang Xuan saw his mother with gray hair curled up in a chair, tightly gripping her hands together. When I looked up and saw him, tears welled up in my eyes. Xiao Xian. Wang Xuan ran over quickly, his heart as if stepping under his own feet. Every step he took hurt. Not only the voice is the same, but also the appearance, movement and demeanor. Does that father also? Wang Xuan dare not think anymore. At this moment, the doctor came out of the operating room. Who are Wang Changji's family members? Wang Xuan and his mother quickly went over and said, "What's going on, doctor?" The patient is temporarily out of life-threatening condition, but needs to stay in the ICU for a period of observation. It's hard to say if they can wake up in the future. Before Wang Xuan could recover, the doctor had already prepared the order. Go and pay the hospitalization fee. At first glance at the bill, Lin Liping almost fainted. Surgical expenses, hospitalization expenses, all in a mess plus 1 yuan, it would cost over 500,000 yuan. And this is just the beginning. Xiao Xian, Mom, don't worry, I have money, I'll go pay. After a series of twists and turns, the sky was about to break. Wang Xuan sat restlessly on the bench, grabbing his hair. He went from sudden death to time travel, to being bound to a golden finger, becoming a sensation overnight, to being dumped by his girlfriend, and his father being hospitalized due to illness. All of this happened too quickly for him to digest. The phone rang again, this time it's the leader in the station. Wang Xuan, your program station values it very much. Now it's the internet age, and our CCTV should also be closer to the lives of young people. Your language style is very good. Please prepare, tomorrow night your interview guest will be a lawyer. Leader, Before Wang Xuan could finish speaking, his voice became noisy. The leader said, I have something else on my end, let's contact you later. Mom, I still have work on stage. Wang Xuan didn't know what to say, and even regretted saying that. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. No one noticed that his professional knowledge was actually not. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. However, Lin Liping empathized with him and wiped away her tears, saying, Mom knows you're busy with work, so you can't delay it. You've been up all night, haven't you? Your father has me here. The doctor said it's already past the critical period. Wang Xuan's lips moved, but eventually he said, if you have anything to do, call me. Mom, don't be too tired. If you can hire a caregiver, just hire one. Don't be afraid of spending money. Your son has money. Lin Liping nodded with tears in her eyes. Wang Xuan said again, I will also go back to see the hospital and transfer my father to the capital hospital. I can also rest assured. On the way back to the TV station, Wang Xuan started counting his savings again. If a girlfriend is gone, then she's gone. My parents definitely can't ignore it. Regardless of whether he is the original owner or what relationship he has with the original owner, if Xuan uses someone else's body, he must take responsibility. Wang Xuan was breathing fiercely, although he hadn't slept all night, he couldn't feel any drowsiness. If Joanne's proposal to break up only made his heart ache, then his father's illness would have made it difficult for him to breathe and catch his breath. The medical expenses of the Beijing Grand Hospital are like a bottomless pit, 3 million is nothing. The points are still not enough. If it can trigger billions of people to break through defense one after another, then Wang Xuan gave his thigh a hard pat and thought of the book that the system had rewarded him with. To live, Wang Xuan still remembers that after reading this book, he stayed up all night and silently smoked a cigarette from an ashtray. He retrieved this novel from the system and saved it on his phone. The novel is not long. After a rough glance, the text is still so moving. He made some modifications to the details of the novel and shamelessly wrote his name in the author column. When passing by the printing shop, the whole book was printed out and then sent to the Beijing People's Education Publishing House. After finishing all of this, Wang Xuan took a deep breath and looked at the time. It was already afternoon. Hurrying back to the stage, the treatment received by Xian Xian was no longer comparable to before. As soon as I entered the door, I received almost all the attention and courtesy from my colleagues. Brother Wang is back. Congratulations to Brother Wang on his return. Famous people are different. If you say, skip class, then skip class without even saying hello. The sound behind made Wang Xuan's hair boil. It's miserable. Lin Suhui. This is their senior host on Beijing Central Television, and also his big leader. Scheduling, attendance management, and back-end monitoring for error correction can all be handled with one hand. Especially when it comes to deducting money, if you mispronounce a word in a press release, you will be deducted 200 yuan, and if you eat a screw, you will be deducted 50 yuan. I still remember in the first half of my internship, when I took out a loan to work, I turned around and looked at the people who were cleaning dishes and streets on the street. It was 7 or 8,000 a month, and he wanted to quit. Fortunately, they managed to make it through. It can be said that the hosts on the entire stage are always nervous when they see Lin Suhui. The instinctive fear and admiration of the original owner towards him have been ingrained in his bones, which has also affected Wang Xuan's leg and stomach muscles. He smiled all over his face and said, "Boss, there's been an accident at home. My dad was hospitalized with a heart attack last night and almost couldn't be saved. I just came back from my hometown." Lin Suhui was jokingly saying this. Last night, the program was off and the director invited him to dinner. He ate quite late and overslept in the morning, which was normal for him to not wake up. However, when he heard Wang Xuan say this, a three-part smile on his face turned into shock. "Xiao Wang, I won't criticize you for being late. Don't make fun of your family." Wang Xuan said with a bitter face, "Do you think I'm joking?" "Oh, no wonder. How is uncle's condition?" "I'm still in the ICU," Wang Xuan sighed bitterly. "I want to wait until my dad's condition stabilizes and take him to the Beijing hospital to stay. The old man has been suffering for a lifetime, and I haven't been able to fulfill my filial piety yet, so." Wang Xuan hung his head and his nose became sore. Lin Suhui patted him on the shoulder and said, "Normally, in your situation, the station has to give you a leave no matter what. But that program. Forget it, Xiao Wang, you should go home first and take good care of the elderly. I will temporarily find someone to replace you for the 2 programs you hosted." Wang Xuan was both heartbroken and grateful. "Brother Lin, thank you. You have been taking care of me since I came here, and I won't make you difficult. I know it's not the right time to take a leave now. The station is currently short of people, and everyone's work has been arranged. I'm in a mess, and I have to reschedule. How can I do it? I'm here, and besides, I can't help my dad. Don't worry, I'm fine and won't affect work." Lin Suhui's eyes were slightly red as he tightly grasped his hand and said, "That's great." The Rule of Law program in the afternoon was hosted normally. Wang Xuan still maintains the serious style of legal programs, with no trace of humor. Steady and steady, without any mistakes or omissions. After the live video was uploaded online, the audience who had originally flooded in due to the program, tell the truth, couldn't help but be greatly disappointed. "What, I thought his style had always been like that. Sitting there speaking in a serious manner was too boring, right? Why didn't he mention the issue of intellectual disability? I was scared to death. I thought he was going to ask in front of the forensic doctor. What should I do if your dissected body suddenly moves? The previous one, this is Wang Xuan's consistent style. Yesterday's live broadcast surprised me. I thought my Wang Xuan was possessed by some kind of intellectual disability. Do I think yesterday was the real him? Agree +1, agree +10086, if it's serious, then it's serious. If it's humorous, then it's humorous. With ease, I can handle various styles. It's truly him, I love him. Has no one noticed that his professional knowledge is actually very solid? He comes with various legal provisions. Could you please check our Wang Xuan's educational background? He has a background in law and is recommended for dual master's degrees. Are you joking? If Young Mama produces it, she must produce high-quality products. This is the idol I should pursue. Follow Young Mama and never let the house collapse. Wang Xuan didn't know that he was just an ordinary show, but he also attracted a large wave of fans on the internet. After work, I kicked my heart out and went home. When I turn on the light, I feel foolish. The door is wide open, and there is still a faint sound of talking inside. Wang Xian's hair immediately stood up, and as he looked at the door, his eyes straightened. There was a man and a woman sitting in the room, chatting happily with each other. The man had a shaggy beard, a big belly, and a small braid of hair. The woman had a beautiful appearance, wearing a white dress and carrying an electric guitar. Li Gu, what's going on? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Your hosting style is too interesting, a bit. You are listening at novel full.audio. The man is the landlord of the room rented by Wang Xian. In this community, most of the houses are owned by him, and he is a wealthy man full of artistic elements. Perhaps there are too many artistic cells in the body, which have made people overweight. Wang Xian is not worried that something will be stolen. After all of his property, including the piece of ink jade hanging around his neck, is not worth it. Xiao Wang, didn't you say you wanted to find a roommate to share a room with? Oh, I found someone for you. Li Gu chuckled and said, previously, some older people wanted to share a house with you, but I didn't agree. I specifically brought you a beautiful woman. Is that interesting enough, brother? Wang Xian was confused. No, wait a moment. When did I say I wanted to share a room with someone? Li Gu, when did I say I wanted to share the apartment? Li Gu is also confused. Just 2 years ago, you said your salary wasn't enough to cover your expenses and asked me to help you find a roommate to share, said the chubby big hand as he grabbed the braid on his head. Wang Xian was about to roll his eyes. You also know that was 2 years ago. When he mentioned it, Wang Xian remembered that he had actually said this 6 months ago. At that time, he had just become a full-time employee and had saved some money in his pocket. Unfortunately, Joanne went out to film and accidentally joined a domineering film crew. The director bullied the young actors all day, and Joanne cried with him in the face of the sky. He gritted his teeth and paid a penalty for Joanne, rescuing her from the crew. Then he became completely poor. Returning to the days when noodles were boiled in plain water and wild vegetables were harvested in the green belt. The rent just expired, so I had no choice but to ask Li if he could share it with someone else. At that time, Li Gu said he wanted to help him find it, but after 2 years of searching, there was no news. Now he has survived, but you have brought in the roommates. To put it bluntly, if the child dies, you can come and breastfeed. Li Gu pulled his arm and walked to the corner of the wall. I'm thinking of finding a better one for you. Look, it's so quiet and beautiful. A little girl, everyone has arrived. Can you bear to drive her out? Wang Xian laughed angrily and said, you don't have to do this. I don't need to share a house now. You should take the person away quickly. Don't get involved, don't get involved. Li said anxiously, I know you're a public figure, and so is the little girl. She's also a singer. She's quite a famous singer, isn't she? She's been tricked by the company she signed with and hidden away. They said, I'm so poor I'm almost going to sleep on the street. Please ask me, brother. You don't know what kind of person you are, can I just ignore it? Wang Xian sighed. The house he rented is a loft apartment with 2 floors, 150 square meters, and can accommodate 1 person in space, so the two are not too crowded. Soft and hard clothing are styles that girls like, so it's not surprising to choose them here. Okay, but let's talk about it first. When she calms down, we'll have to let her move. Otherwise, what would it look like if we lived together as a lonely man and a widow? Li Gu smiled and said, of course, even if you want to keep someone, you may not be willing to do so. After signing the contract, Li Gu left. The girl sitting on the sofa smiled shyly and extended her hand to Wang Xuan, saying, "Hello, my name is Jiang Chuxia and I am a singer." Wang Xuan clenched at her fingertips. "Wang Xuan. I know you, you are the host of Jingyang. As soon as you came in, I recognized you. I often watch your programs, which are honest and honest. Your hosting style is so interesting, it doesn't look like the host of Yanma at all." Wang Xuan smiled and said, "Have you ever watched Rule of Law Online? Jiang Chuxia was taken aback and smiled awkwardly. It's also a program I hosted. After watching that, you'll know that I still look very much like a CCTV host." Wang Xuan shrugged his shoulders. He knew which young girl would watch the legal channel on TV. To be honest, is still popular enough for her to recognize it as soon as she enters the door, and compliment her by saying, "I often watch your programs." Jiang Chuxia was not embarrassed when she was poked open, and she laughed heartlessly. "Which room do I live in? This loft has a total of 4 rooms. I live in the master bedroom upstairs, and I have converted the guest bedroom next to it into a studio. The 2 rooms downstairs are both Chaoyang. Which one do you think you live in? Or you can give both rooms to you, and you can also change it into a studio. It's okay." Jiang Chuxia nodded in a pecking rice style and said, "Brother Wang, you are really kind." As he spoke, he pushed the salute all the way into the bedroom. There are not many people at home who are not used to it. In addition, Wang Xuan had something hidden in his heart. Even if he didn't sleep all night last night, he still hasn't felt sleepy at all. Left and right were also uneasy, so he called his mother. The bell rang for a long time before connecting. "Mom, it's me. How's Dad doing?" Lin Liping's voice trembled slightly as she said, "I just woke up, it's just. Except that my eyes can move, I can't move anything on my body. What should I do?" Wang Xuan took a few deep breaths before calming down and said, "It's okay, it will always get better. Tomorrow, I will bring my dad to the capital, and all the leaders in my station have agreed for me. We will invite experts from all over the country for consultation, and it will definitely be okay." "How much will it cost?" "You don't have to worry about the money. Don't worry, your son has been promoted and costs tens of thousands a month. When the time comes, I will buy another house in the capital, and our family will still live together." This phone call comforted both his mother and himself, as he lay down feeling drowsy. Because the response to be honest, was too positive, the station decided to reschedule the originally scheduled afternoon broadcast to the prime time slot. Wang Xuan once again stood on this stage and had a friendly interaction with the guest, Lawyer Chen. Although Lawyer Chen's expression did not look very friendly. Chen Jingqing, who has been working in a law firm for 40 years, has handled thousands of lawsuits and has never lost a lawsuit except for defending individual criminals with reduced sentences. The highest achievement he achieved was sending the opposing lawyer along with the judge, and he became a prominent figure in the industry for a while. Originally, Chen Jingqing refused to accept the interview, but couldn't resist the fact that young mama had a big face, so she eventually came. Wang Xuan's first impression of Chen Jingqing was that he looked quite old-fashioned and serious. It's okay, the more rigid and serious it is, the more powerful it will be in breaking defense later. Wang Xuan recited the opening statement honestly according to the script design. Unexpectedly, as soon as he sat down, he was first defeated by the old man. "I heard you graduated from Peking University with a major in law." Wang Xuan was taken aback for a moment and quickly answered, "Yes, I heard that Professor Chen was also a graduate of Peking University in 2003. Chen Jingqing chuckled and said, "Not only are you a graduate, but I have also taught there. Your teacher is Su Guolin, right?" Wang Xuan stood up immediately and said, "Oh my, are you my teachers? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. EP1-10 came back so late, and your host. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I'm not, I'm just asking casually. Wang Xuan. During the live broadcast, the barrage had already been flashed by, ha ha ha. I can't tell, Professor Chen is so humorous. Hurry up. Take a screenshot of Wang Xuan eating at the scene. Ha 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 ha, who made the picture? Wang Xuan's expression is exactly the same as that of Lu Qin yesterday. Ha ha ha, a face full of confusion, JPG. Now it's up to Wang Xuan to catch the meme. After all, Wang Xuan has chosen the skills of a professional host, how could he be stumped by this small scene? Good guy, it's okay if you ask me casually. I almost messed up my seniority. He laughed and said, you scared my back with sweat. After a few casual conversations, the topic finally reached a relief that netizens enjoyed. Some netizens have raised many legal-related questions and would like to ask you to answer your questions on .site, is that okay? Chen Jingqing gave a faint smile. Having been in the industry for decades, what hasn't he seen before? Chen Jingqing never expected that the first question would make him unable to hold his breath. May I ask, if my 60-year-old wealthy wife passes away, can I sue her 40-year-old son not to support my 20-year-old stepfather? Chen Jingqing pursed her lips and said, you can tell me. You can sue, but the court can also refuse to accept it. Wang Xuan smiled and asked, why? Chen Jingqing said, do you still need to ask me? Wang Xuan was also bad and deliberately said, I need you to help this unsupported, poor 20-year-old stepfather solve his confusion. Chen Jingqing was serious with a hint of humor, and said solemnly. Firstly, supporting stepparents is based on the relationship between stepparents and stepchildren. From an age perspective, it is impossible for a 20-year-old stepfather, Xian Xian, to have raised a stepson who is already over 40 years old. Therefore, this 40-year-old stepson has no obligation to support his 20-year-old stepfather. However, the online community of Xian Xian has not yet opened up, and there is not much money for alimony, which only includes basic living expenses, excluding the purchase of luxury goods and major assets. However, as the legitimate husband of a 60-year-old rich woman's wife, this netizen is still the first-in-line heir without the woman establishing a will. Wang Xuan continued, so if this stepfather and stepson get married in a foreign country and then divorce, can we inherit more inheritance? Chen Jingqing. Professor Chen doesn't want to speak, he just wants to deduct a 6. Listening to the increasing points, Wang Xuan's face showed a satisfied smile. Han Xian ignored the expression on Professor Chen's smelly socks that had not been washed for 800 years, as if someone had stuffed a mouthful. Don't you have any questions here that are not so contrary to public order and good customs? Of course there is. We have all heard of the story of Hulua saving Grandpa, and there are many legal issues involved, even I often feel puzzled, please consult Professor Chen. Grandpa picked up gourd seeds and planted them, but later the gourd became a child. Will Grandpa's ownership of the gourd become custody? Does the gourd have the right to support his grandfather? Later, when the child became a mountain, does the grandfather have ownership of the mountain? Later, the mountain was sawn, is it illegal mining or intentional homicide? Grandpa's gourd cubs kill rare wild protected animals. Grandpa knows but doesn't stop them. What responsibility should Grandpa bear? Professor Chen's glasses were shining in the opposite direction, and as the points rubbed upwards, it seemed like he wanted to kill Wang Xuan's wild animals on the spot. He reluctantly answered the question and asked in a voice of biting his back teeth, can our legal issues be closer to life? Getting close to life, it's just a small matter. Wang Xuan gave a faint smile. I paid my tuition but couldn't get into it. Does the school constitute false advertising? Forwarding 40 yellow videos can constitute a crime, but if I merge and forward 40 videos, does it still constitute a crime? I sent money to the unit leader, but he didn't accept it. Can I sue him to refuse RMB? If a male deaf-mute harasses a female deaf-mute with sign language, is this behavior considered physical harassment or verbal harassment? The barrage of live streaming videos has already exploded. Okay, your kid knows how to ask questions. Which netizen summarized the question for you? This pot is too heavy to carry. I was watching the video when suddenly my back felt a bit heavy. Upon closer inspection, oh, it's a big pot flying down from the sky. Wang Xuan, please be clear-headed. Wang Xuan, you are a legal professional. Are you sure you need to interview before you can have a job at Rule of Law Online? May I ask how many years should be sentenced for this behavior of making innocent netizens take the blame? The ratings have also exploded. The peak viewership has reached an astonishing 19.23% and on this basis, climb all the way up. At that time, the headline on the entertainment page #I have a legal issue that I need to seek help from at Professor Chen # rushed to the hot search within half an hour. Wang Xuan has completely become popular. After the broadcast, Zhang Yun excitedly gave him a passionate hug. He couldn't help but be excited. What does this mean? It means he can rely on this program for a lifetime. Lin Suhui also gave him a distant thumbs up outside the studio. Wang Xuan hammered a hammer on his shoulder. I'll handle things, you can rest assured. What is the experience of suddenly becoming popular on the internet? Wang Xuan actually doesn't have any special feelings either. It's nothing more than being recognized outside the door, looking at him more coldly, and then saying to his companions, "Hey, look, that's XXX who passed by just now." A more enthusiastic person will grab him and say, "Hey, you're not who? That host." Most likely, his name is still unknown. Wang Xuan really drifted for a while, especially after receiving several variety shows arranged for him by the audience. Hey, we've also managed to get ahead. Of course, he declined all variety shows. Anyway, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. The old father is still sick. As a son, if he can't walk away, it's okay. If he can walk away and keep pursuing money, is that still a person? The hospital has already contacted and said it will be picked up early tomorrow morning. After everything is resolved, it will be late at night again when we return home. The aroma of hot food wafted from the kitchen. Wang Xuan was momentarily blinded when he entered the room, and then remembered that he also had a roommate to share. Jiang Chuxia poked her head out of the kitchen. You came back so late, and your host has worked really hard. Have you eaten yet? Wang Xuan hasn't eaten anything yet, so he usually makes do with ordering takeout at this point. I guessed you didn't eat. Come on, let's have some together. I just came back from night shift. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.